Alright everybody, today we're going to be watching this video. It's a little bit old, but I really just want to talk about this channel. Not really the video. I know it's 7 months old and I literally just replied to another YouTuber commenting on one of my posts from a video that was 7 months old, whatever. But this is like an appeal, this is like the most faggoted appeal to, oh look, it's a little kid crying, shut the country down. Basically that. And then the guy making it, Poncho, in case you don't know, I had to recently unsub. He became like a total left-wing fag. In fact, I unsubbed over 2 years ago because of how much of a left-wing fag he had become. He uploaded a video recently calling can't say that on YouTube. Probably gonna have to censor that. Transvestites, like, people. They're human too. No, they're not. We all know they're all pedophiles. Whatever. But in case you don't know who Poncho is, he used to be this, like, sort of normal commentary YouTuber. He made his most popular video off of Dream during that 2020 era. And then he became, like, really right-wing in 2023 before becoming a total fag now. And he's a failed rapper. Like, you know, he got scammed by, like, some Somalian or something. I don't know what happened. It was a few months ago. But apparently he lost like $100,000 because he got scammed by like a Somalian person or one of his friends or whatever. But today we're going to be watching his video, like, crying, basically, about, like, guys, the little children are being deported. Shut the country down. This is 7 months ago, keep in mind. Keep in mind the tension with ICE now. The tension with all what's happening in Minnesota right now. This was 7 months ago. Which was, like, last summer. So the deportations weren't even that high.
Torrance boy and his father, who were deported to Honduras, away from family and friends.
What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite Mexican raincoat here. I hope you're all doing well today.
No, you're not my favorite Mexican raincoat. You're a fag.
I'm not doing too bad myself. Today we're talking about another serious topic because I don't see anyone else in the community talking about it.
What community? Your community is a bunch of, like, Dean Wither ripoffs who cry for abortion.
Getting
Like, they're literally men who say men shouldn't have an opinion about abortion, proceeds to give an opinion about abortion.
Stop videos on my For You page of good-hearted, hardworking immigrant families being stripped apart.
Yeah, of course it's on your For You page, especially back then. It's atrocity propaganda. Look at the poor family. They're going away, guys. Shut the country down. You don't need to deport anyone. In fact, bring in some more.
And separated by ICE. And I'm just to the point where, like, I need to talk about this issue because of how bad it's getting. And before...
Guys, what's the Hispanic version of a wigger?
Before I even dive into my points, I want to make it clear that I'm only talking about the immigrants who aren't committing atrocious crimes. Obviously, I think violent criminals should...
No, guys. This is literally what the Trump admin's saying right now. No, guys. We're going to report only the criminals. Still, one of it's like a 0.5%. The point of deportations. Let me think about that. What do you mean to keep the demographics high? No. Don't you get it, Chud? The deportations are to get rid of the Democrat voters. Dude. Like, the GOP deserves to be destroyed for how badly it's doing with immigration right now. And this guy's gonna complain that it's too much. It's not nearly. It's like 1% of what it needs to be. Let's keep watching.
Be handled by the law. I feel like that's common sense.
But this is like pre-Groyper area. Like, you have to understand, the Groypers came in. I became a Groyper late July, or mid-July. A little bit before. Like, a lot of people, like, say, you're only a Groyper because Charlie Kirk died. I was a Groyper before. A few weeks before. But the Groypers didn't really, like, become mainstream until a few weeks before Charlie died. That's how I got onto it. So keep in mind, this is pre-Groyper area. This is like MAGA-tard era where, like, the MAGA-tards ruled everything and the libtards were crying. To this day, the libtards still cry about the century, right? Century. But yeah, they literally, like, they can't fathom a far right. I was gonna do a video on SK. If you don't know who SK, he's like this gay Spider-Man black dude who reviews, like, Marvel goy slop. You can't say the word goy slop in that server and you'll get banned immediately. Like, you can't do anything in that server that's remotely far right. You can be a century rightist and be in there and get, like, jumped like 30 people, including the owner. and eventually banned. But you can't be far right in there. Why? Because the left is so used to fighting the centre right. They haven't even had to think about the far right until like late 2025. So they have no arguments. They have no real way. And even now, if you didn't see this on Twitter a few days ago, Hassan Abi, like, and Nick Fuentes said this on his show a few days ago, what the left would do like 5 years ago would say, you're a racist, you're a vile homophobe. And like the boomers would like clutch their pearls. No, I'm not. I'm actually not. And then now the leftists are just like, you're a gay, faggot, Mexican. So even the far left knows that gay people are disgusting and that faggots are disgusting. Basically, you said the same thing twice. But let's continue with the video. I'm kind of going on an off rant here.
But this video isn't about them. It's about the ones who aren't doing those crazy things, who are still being deported. For those who haven't been properly informed about what's going on, ICE has tripled its daily arrest target.
Do you seriously think they're deporting 3,000 people per day? Do you actually think that? Not even close. You know how many people were deported in 2025? They say 2 million self-deportations. I don't know too much about that, although I did hear a lot of people give good arguments on why it's fake. They're just not going through my head right now. 250,000 deportations. That's nothing. That's like less than zero. Let me do the math here. There's 30 million, right? That's like 1% of what it needs to be. Less, actually. That's way, way too little. You think if they were doing 3,000 per day, they need to be doing 30,000 per day. If you want to get rid of 30 million by the end of the 4 years. Something like that. Well, a little bit less. I was doing the math based off 1,000 days. Which I guess is 3 years. But yeah, let's continue watching.
Targets from 1,000 to 3,000 a day. And they're doing this regardless of criminal background. They don't care if they have a criminal.
First of all, they're all criminals. Like, I'm not trying to be like one of those like MAGA tards. It's like, it's the law. They have to be deported because it's the law and it's the law. Like, that's a really weak argument. I can give arguments on why they should be deported. But they literally all are criminals. If you like, they all are. Literally. Crossing the border is a misdemeanor. That makes you a criminal.
Criminal record. If they're illegal, they're going to take them and
yes, that's good.
Separate them from their families.
Actually, deport the families with them.
And I don't want to hear
like that's why birthright citizenship, in my opinion, should not be a real factor.
From the people who are just going to say, well, they're in our country illegally, so that means they're committing a crime. First of all, most of the people getting deported.
Straw man. Actually, that's a pretty good argument.
Deported are in the process of getting their citizenship.
No, they're not. You just said they're illegal immigrants, meaning they don't have a green card. They're not. Does this faggot think illegal immigrants can become citizens? You don't have paperwork. You're an illegal. You don't have paperwork. You don't have a green card. You have no basis to be here. The second you enter like a government program, they're going to see that you're not supposed to be here. They don't have your file. You don't have papers. You can't become a citizen if you're an illegal immigrant. You can't enter the process. You'd get deported immediately.
Can take up to a few years to get, but y'all just want to call them criminals instead of realizing that the process takes a long time to get a citizen.
Then they can wait. Like, I honestly don't know why it's these Mexicans crying. Your country's not a third world garbage. Like, you're not from India, okay? You're from Mexico. Mexico is second world, okay? You can live in Mexico without getting killed. Mexico doesn't have poop all over the streets like India. Mexico doesn't have cows everywhere. Mexico's not that bad. Go to Mexico. Stay there. It's not that bad. You can live there perfectly fine. At least if like an Indian cries, you're like, okay, your country is horrible. We're still not going to let you in. At least unless you like do the paperwork or whatever, which I still have concerns about. But yeah, they're illegal. They're not supposed to be here. They can't get their citizenship. They can't get this. Just keep watching.
Citizenship. And second of all, is it a crime to exist in a country now? Like, don't give.
It literally is. It always has been. When do you think borders existed? When was the first border? I don't know the exact date. I know it was very. When did the U.S. first? It always has been. What are you talking about? There's been one presidency out of every other presidency that has not deported like a bunch of people. Is it dude? You're so used to like the Biden era where like no one was getting deported. Before that, Trump. Before that, Obama. Before that, George Bush. Actually, George Bush brought in immigrants. Before that, Bill Clinton too, I guess. Bill Clinton deported. Bill Clinton was like standing on business when it came to deporting illegals. So it always has been. To answer your question, they literally had borders since the Treaty of Paris. You can't enter the country illegally since the country was founded.
Don't get me wrong. I know that an illegal immigrant staying here without trying to get their papers is probably...
You can get your papers from Mexico. And even then, that's suspicious to me. I'm thinking, like, at some point we hit a limit. We don't need more immigrants, right? When people come here, even the parents, the children, they come here and they imagine a paradise, a country that's not like any other country. America, a country built by Europeans, right? So do you think that these people, and no immigrants really should really support more of them coming in? Us, it's like family, but even that's more of a personal issue. Like, if you're an immigrant, you're coming here, this country's so great, I want to come here because my country's not as great. Why is this country great? Because it was built by Europeans. Okay, so let's have more Europeans and less of me. Like, I can stay here, but I don't want any more of me here. Right? That should be the appeal. But no, these Jose's, they're like, no. I can't do a good Mexican accent. I'm not even going to try. No, senor. I need my abuela from Mexico to come into the country. I need more tenlon.
The wrong thing for them to do. They should try to get their papers. But when I think of the word...
You can't get your... I mean, you can try, yeah. But if you're caught, you're caught. You're cooked.
Criminal, I think of someone who's...
Well, you're also like a Jose. Like, senor, let me mow your lawn for $10. Doing an Indian accent. I can't do a Mexican accent well.
Harming their community, or has done it before. And based on every single immigrant that I've ever met, they do the complete opposite. They help out, they contribute, they're funny as hell, they're great.
Yeah, they help their own people. They're like, their net value is negative. They're a detriment to the country. What do you think happens when you import 30 million people and there's not 30 million homes? Like, I know also big issues, corporations. But what do you think happens when you import 30 million illegals and there's not 30 million homes? House value prices are going to go up. What do you think is going to happen? Yeah, they help their own kind. You're one of them, Jose. You're one of them, Pancho. You're one of them. Yeah, of course they help you.
People to be around. Extremely hardworking, too. So I don't understand how...
Hardworking. They mow your lawn. They wash your dishes.
People are just labeling these illegal immigrants as just flat-out criminals, when most of them are focused on getting their papers and don't have...
Oh. Actually, it's 100%, first of all. Oh, that's like that one meme where like they're like, don't you get it, Chud? Half of black people aren't murderers. That's actually a win. So what if 63%... 65, 66, that's not 60, 40, I can't do math, 46.3 of all illegal immigrants are criminals, Chud. But actually, that's good. That's horrible. Do you know how bad that is? That's worse than black people. That's worse.
Have a criminal record. So I don't understand when people...
But damn, that's a lot. And that doesn't even line up mathematically. They're reporting 1,000 per day, right? They're reporting 1,000 per day. If more than 50% of them are criminals, on average, they're reporting 500 criminals per day. That's a win.
Look at these illegal immigrants being deported and think, oh, these are just criminals, when the numbers...
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if they're criminals or not.
Show that there's clearly a...
They're all criminals. They don't need to be here. Jose. It pains me. Because he's like 80% white, I assure you. He's like, it's always like the most like white looking Mexican. He does look Mexican, but it's always like the most white looking Mexicans that will be like the most like Mexican nationalist retards, and like the most brown ones will be like the most like Catholic Spanish LARPing groypers. And I honestly prefer the latter to the former, because the formers act like a faggot.
Ton of non-criminals being rounded up too. And this pie graph is just from 2019 to 2024. Here's the updated numbers.
Let's see this. Less than 10% of the roughly immigrated. Other serious crimes, other offenses, other... Jose! That's over 60, that's over 30%. That's still not good. If it was like 5%, you'd have an argument. 6%, 8%. Jose, this is not looking good for you.
Than 10% of the roughly 185,000 people blocked into immigration and customs enforcement custody from October 1st through May.
All crimes. They're all illegal. And I'm not trying to be like a law faggot. The real issue here is they come here, they replace the former people, they have higher children birth rates, right? And the old people, the white people, the Europeans who built this country, they don't have that. And what those people do is their children vote, right? Birthright citizenship. Their children come here, they vote. They bring in more of them, they have children, they vote. And eventually they have all the power. They didn't even build the country. What have they done, right? That's the main issue here. We don't want that. Look, I'm not even white. I'm not going to like sit here and LARP. But we don't want that. Nobody wants that, okay? Only 2 minutes into this video. Dude, I might have to make like... This is going to be at least 30 minutes, probably.
First, have been convicted of serious crimes like murder, rape, assault, or robbery. So less than 10%...
Jose, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to like wait for him to skip by this.
Of immigrants rounded up in the last 6 months have been criminals. Yet there's still people outside saying that they're just taking the criminals, when 90% of the immigrants being taken are non-criminals who are working on getting their papers. This is insane.
You know what? I'm gonna weaponize Mexican racism to make a bunch of people think that they're taking criminals.
Mexican racism. Don't you get it, Chud? You're racist. Oh my god, this is so bad. Weaponized Mexican racism. Dude, if Trump... Dude. Trump only says that because everybody knows deep down what the issue is. It is replacement. But the issue with, is that Trump doesn't do deportations, right? Because he relies on the voter base for the vote, but does he really want the voter base more than, like, he needs both, right? He needs the voter base and he needs the money. But if he can trick the voter base, he can work for the money. If Wall Street doesn't want deportations, right? None of his funders want deportations. You think Elon Musk wants illegals deported? No. You think Jeff Bezos wants illegals deported? No. They love immigrants here. They love giving... Why do you think people say illegals work the jobs that we don't want to work? Those jobs aren't jobs people don't want to work because they're bad jobs. Those jobs are bad because they're paid with slave labor. $2 to $3 an hour. Why? Because the only people being hired are illegal immigrants. So if you remove that from the factor, these people are going to have to force to pay a living wage. Would you roof for $30 an hour? The average, like, 20-year-old man would probably say, yes, I would absolutely do that. You can't expect people to, like, want to work $2 to $3 an hour, literal slave wages. Because what are these illegal immigrants doing with the money? Well, they're fine with working slave labor. Why? Because that slave labor here is high pay there. So when they're inevitably deported back to Mexico City, Jose, right? Back with your abuela, that money you made in America becomes a lot more in Mexico, okay?
When in reality, most of them are just innocent Mexicans.
They're innocent. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What don't you get? I really want, like, I don't want to make response videos. I just want to talk to people. Because they can't respond. They say the same thing like 30 times. That's why I hate video essays that repeat the same thing. Like, yeah, if you're trying to get a very, like, if you're going against the mainstream messaging, but this is, like, the most common libtard opinion ever. I can tell he never looked any of this up himself. His, like, server got him all these images, probably didn't write the script, but probably did all the research for him. Do you think this, like, wigger would actually do the research?
And it's crazy because I'll
It's insane.
literally be told by some Trump bootlicker that he's only deporting the criminals when if you
Get rid of them all. Doesn't matter. Nobody... What, like, magatard is actually saying that? Magatards don't make that argument. Magatards make the argument that it's illegal because it's illegal, which is a bad argument. Right? Magatards don't say only the criminals. Most magatards actually do, which is a valid position. They do want them all gone.
take a look at the graph, you can clearly see that that's not the case. The reality is that these illegal immigrants who are being deported with no criminal history and are trying to get their papers are people like you and I. They're far from criminals.
No, they're not. They're foreigners. I'm a foreigner, right? But I got here the right way. Well, I didn't get here. My parents did, right? And I'm not trying to be like a libtard. Well, I just want them to come here the right way. No. Like, I think after a certain point, probably actually before I even got into this country in 20... I'm going to cut that out. I don't want to give out too much information or just, like, beep it out. Probably after that, that's probably at least like 10 years after we needed to shut it down completely, right? So, no, like if it was up to me, the second I got in here, it'd be complete shutdown, no immigration.
Wake up in their beds in the morning, they go to work, they're human beings who are just trying to survive and thrive.
They can do that in Mexico. You can wake up to work, you can go to work in Mexico. There's plenty of jobs in Mexico.
And that's what I really wanted to center in on, because a lot of people are going to say that this video is politically driven, when in reality...
You literally think trans people are real. It is politically driven. You're a complete raging faggot. No, it's actually not politically driven. It's racially driven. It's racially motivated. Because you, Jose, I really want to say slurs. I can't say slurs on here. If I was like a Rumble tuber, I'd be able to say slurs, but Rumble's pretty dead aside from like Nick Fuentes and Steven Crowder. I know a lot of people are trying to move there. I think it's a stupid idea because Rumble's like a dead platform. There's like 2 major people on there. To be granted, they're really big, but I really wish like I could say slurs on here. I'd call him every slur in the book. Not to be edgy, but like that's what he is. You only care because probably like your uncle was deported or something. Or your libtard like audience told you to do this.
It's just humanity driven. If you can't see the problem with illegal immigrant families being stripped apart pure...
Okay, humanity driven. Mexico's not a war zone. Sure, there's cartels, but they're not literally bombing stuff. You never lived in Mexico either, to my knowledge, so, I mean, you can't really say the opposite either. But, like, if we were, like, dropping them in a lava pit, you could argue it's humanity-driven, like, but they're just being sent back to where they came from, where they lived for probably decades without dying. So, I think they'll be fine.
Because they don't have legal status? That's fucked up. And
they're not even, like, asylum seekers, because asylum seekers come from war zones, right? People do die a lot there. But Mexico's not an asylum-receiving country.
Fully aware that I'm going to lose a chunk of my audience saying this, but
You lost a chunk of the audience when you, like, became a cuck and said, guys, trans people are real. No, they're not. They're pedophiles. They're wannabes. Now, for the trans argument, I'll just simply pull up suicide statistics. That's not a healthy thing. If you want to say the cure to gender dysphoria is transgenderism, why do almost half of them attempt suicide? Because they look disgusting. They're hideous. They go in the mirror after probably molesting a 13-year-old boy on Discord and say, why am I so gross? Why does no one love me? Why does everyone hate me? And then they either kill themselves, do a mass shooting, or become a suicide bomber. You're like a complete raging... You're not a man. You're a fag, Jose. Go back to Mexico.
waiting to do this. If you're going to justify innocent families being broken apart, then y'all can leave. Again, though, I'm not talking about the immigrants who are committing atrocious crimes. ICE can take the killers, the rapists, go ahead and take all of them, but don't take innocent people.
Dude, and it's funny because people in his Discord server are most likely... I'm not in his Discord server. I was banned for being like a Trumpy 2 years ago. Which is crazy. Like, they couldn't even handle a center right at the time. But, like, dude, they're literally getting fraud people out. And your Discord server is not in support of this. Do you think his, like, left-wing libtard audience is actually like, you know what, I don't like ICE, but what they're doing in Minnesota is good because maybe I don't agree with the killing, but they're getting the fraudulent Somalians out. Do you think they're seriously saying that? No one's saying that. These people are using it as a cover. Like, they can go get the criminals. You don't want the criminals deported. You don't want any of them deported. You don't want the fraudulent people here. Sorry, fraudulent people out. You don't want the murderers out. You don't want the rapists out. You want none of them, Jose, because they're your people. And if they're not your people, then it's like some race traitor stuff where they're like, Somalians, I'm going to die for the Somalians as a libtard. That's a whole nother issue. We might get into that in the future.
Who are just existing and trying.
They're just existing, Chud. How does it personally affect you? Rape. It's like unprecedented levels of rape.
To thrive in a nation that they move.
Holy cortisol spike, he's turning red. He's like orange now. And the natural like lit room, okay, 344. Look, he's like so much darker. Cortisol spike.
Trying to thrive in a nation that they.
He's like one of those people that's like, oh really? Oh real? Like they're trying to like seem like they're laughing, but they're just like super angry.
Moved to escape where they were from. Like, bro, it's
escape from Mexico. Abuela, get over the board. I can't do a Mexican accent. I just keep doing an Indian one on like. Well, to be fair, they're both stealing American jobs.
Not rocket science. It's so easy to understand. But I've been seeing just so many people give me these rebuttals that just make no fucking sense. It's like they don't have any sort of empathy or any sort of. They're not.
I don't. Empathy's not a real argument, loser. Can you actually explain how that works? Yet they're hurting the country in every single possible way. Feel bad for them. No. Empathy. Remember when the left wing, this is 7 months ago, remember when the left wing's like, don't you have any empathy? And look, I'm not pro-Israel in any sense. I'm actually probably like the most anti-Israel. No, not even close, but like I'm pretty anti-Israel. Do you, like, these people were so annoying a year ago. Like, don't you have any empathy? Sure. Yeah, it's the Jew. No, it's not the Jews. It's the Zionists. Like, you guys can't even take it over a mile. How do you expect to get anything done? That's why your ideology is... Why do you think the right wing is so... They're not even focused on the left. The right wing, like the far right, is focused on getting rid of the interference. And then they want the far left to succeed. Why? Because the far right wins against the far left in every single category. That's why your ideology is weak and pathetic. You'll never take it over the mile. Especially with Jews. Why won't you take it over the mile with Jews? Why won't you say, sure, they're not bad people, all of them, but Jews do this and this and this. Why won't you guys do that? Well, your whole ideology is literally made up by them. You want to go communism, abortion, transgenderism, modern-day feminism? That's them. So the people in power are telling you what to do, and you may not agree with the Democratic Party. I'm talking about the movement power, the people behind the scenes. They're all that. They're never going to teach you that. And because the left is just like a bunch of brain-dead retards, they have to be ordered that. They have to like see other people saying that to be able to do that. Like, they don't make arguments on their own. They just wait for other people to make it for them. They wait for the goy media to produce it for them. We're not even halfway through. This is going to be painful.
Not even trying to put themselves in these immigrants' shoes. It's insane. Also, if you look at the Criminal immigrant deportation numbers, they've barely gone up under Trump's presidency. The only deportation
Get them all out. Every single... Go neighborhood to neighborhood with 50,000 officers. Look who's illegal. Get them out. Move to the next. Anyone interfere, you can protest on the sidewalk with your little gay sign. But if you interfere, shot. It's not political violence. If the police are doing it. Like, that's risky. What I meant to say was, like, if you're on the street, if your car's blocking a police officer trying to get criminals out, if you're honking your horn, immigrants, get out. Like a race trader. Yeah, ICE is going to be able to, like, that should be enough incentive for them to use, not necessarily lethal force, but not like these, like, just, what are they giving them now? Like sand guns? No, they should have, like, tasers. They should have, like, BB guns are kind of worthless.
numbers that have really
It's insane.
spiked are the non-criminals. So I don't want to hear that these ICE sweeps are about the criminals because the numbers...
What three magatards have you met that are arguing this? All of them.
clearly show otherwise. And I'm really only covering the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the ICE sweeps and immigration situation going on. I haven't even explained what's going on with the foster home children immigrants and the elementary school immigrants being taken away by ICE. And yet...
Atrocity propaganda. A crying child. Shut the country down. You're like sub 80 IQ. That's why you were like a red-pilled, like Andrew Tate person. You move with the movement. Okay, Jose? It's okay when it's against feminism, but when it attacks you, no. You're like an 80 IQ subhuman.
that's happening.
Torrance boy and his
I
father
don't care.
were deported to
Was he deported? I hope he was thrown over the wall.
Honduras, away from family and friends.
Oh, Honduras, I hope they dropped him off by ocean. I hope they dropped him off and said, you're never coming back here, little kid. Okay, this is your home country. You're gonna stay here. What, like, faggot, like, race trader, like, 5'1", like, Dean Withered build skeleton made this edit? My God, feel bad for the immigrant.
Deported
Feel bad for the criminal.
3 U.S. citizen children to Honduras, including a 4-year-old boy.
What was citizenship? Birthright citizenship? What, their parent came over here as an illegal and birthed them? I hope they deported that little kid. Yeah, I hope they ripped off his mask when they did it, too.
Actively receiving treatment for a rare form of stage 4 cancer.
I think we can all agree that ICE raiding an elementary...
No! The kid has cancer? It's definitely not the parents' fault. Don't you get it, Chud? You should pay for it. It's a little kid.
preschool is fucking insane. And at this point,
No, it's not.
I know a lot of people in my audience aren't going to want to hear this, but I believe the motivation is racism. If it
is racial. Yes, it is racial. Because you, Jose's, you guys come up here, you don't have any good, you have no legal standing. Right? You Jose's, what's like another stereotypical, I don't really have one. But you Jose's, it is racial. And I'm not even white. You guys, like, get over here. There's like 30 million of you. You guys have children. 60 million children. They have children. They're all allowed to stay here. The children. You have 60 million children. The 60 million children, they have 120 million. What are the white birth rates looking like? The people who came here originally, who built this country, they're pretty low. So that's the issue, Jose, is that you're literally ethnically replacing the people because your birth rates are higher. And you can say, oh, that's your guys' problem. Okay, that's our problem. What's the easiest solution? Stop you guys from coming in here. Well, I'm not even white, but that would be their biggest issue. That's the easiest way to get in. Like, stop these people from coming in here and deport the ones that are criminals. It's insane.
really was about the criminals, then there wouldn't be any
It isn't. It never was.
criminal immigrants being taken away from their families.
And I know I said cortisol spike earlier, I'm kind of getting angry too, but it's just like this max level of retardism.
And very firm on that. I know Trump bootlickers are going to get very mad at this
I'm not a magatard, but
video. So feel free to let your frustrations out in my comment section. You guys are only going to amplify this video by doing that.
did he do like the soyboy thing and like, thank you for the hate comment, Chud. You just boosted my video. How many views does this video have? Like 35,000 with 2 million subs. Dude, no one's watching your content. And yeah, I know he's doing a bit better now. I know his channel's like extremely dead in 2024. I know he's doing a bit better now. He's pulling a few 100,000. His new libtard audience, but
And play.
his like thumbnails haven't evolved. His video hasn't evolved, like his formatting. Nothing's evolved since like 2023, maybe. His thumbnails have been the same for 4 years. He's like a sub 80 IQ Mexican Jose retard.
Yourselves. I know you guys are used to doing that though, so feel free. And this issue isn't about
Dude, what like faggot in this Discord server like wrote this for him?
Democrats versus Republicans or any of that fake APAC bullshit either. This
He does know about APAC. He's red-pilled on the Jews, but doesn't see the issue on the Jews.
is about
No, the Jews do literally nothing but support Israel. Do you really think that? Dude, if you think Israel's the top of the Jewish stuff, you're a complete delusion. It's only one faction.
humanity and right versus wrong. Simple. And the fact that we're deploying
Right versus wrong. The issue is APAC. I'm gonna side with the Jews on this one. What are you saying?
military forces in our own country.
Best. Military forces, bring in tanks with you. Bring in jets, helicopters, missiles. Strap them to a missile. Shoot it in the ocean. Kaboom! Weist!
Just to stop a few people from breaking property?
They're not protesting. Breaking property. Just to stop a few people from breaking property. No, don't you get it, Chud? It's okay if we smash your Tesla. And this was 7 months ago. That was when that was actually a thing. Don't you get it, Chud? It's actually okay. Your guy is pro-Trump, even though he also is pro-immigrant. Dude. It's not a protest. A protest is you on the side of the street with a sign yelling out an anthem. A riot is when you're in the way of the car, you're encircling the car, you're swarming the officers, you're freeing the Jose's, you're telling the Jose's, ICE is coming, ICE is coming. That's police interference. That is a federal crime. And the only reason it's happening, I'm going to sound like, if you're far right, you're going to hear that you've heard this a million times. The only reason it's happening is because the Trump admin's not serious. Like I said earlier, he can lie to the voter base. He can do like the performance, atrocity propaganda. Really, only 250,000 people have been deported. That's not a lot. So it's crazy to see, like, how retarded these people can be.
insane too. And don't even get me started on those cops who were shooting random people with rubber bullets who weren't causing any harm
I wish they were real bullets.
during these protests or inciting any
Protests are just on the street in the way.
What?
I wish they were real bullets. They're interfering with the police. They're getting in the way of the vehicles. I wish it was real bullets. These people are committing crimes. They're not on the side of the street peacefully protesting. They're interfering with federal law enforcement. If Trump admin was serious, these people there would be a lot more people dead. Like, I'm not saying I'm in support of that, but there'd be a lot more dead people. And it wouldn't be happening. It happened once, twice, it stopped. They'd be on the side of the street protesting with their signs. They wouldn't be in the way. But because it's not serious, because you're not arresting these people for their crimes, like, 89 people have been arrested in Minnesota? There's like hundreds of thousands of rioters. 89 people have been arrested for, interfering? It's insane. It's a bit different now than it was 7 months ago, I'll give him that. But it's actually more in my favor than his.
While this clip that I saw was when an officer shot a reporter with a rubber bullet.
After hours of standing off this situation,
You're in the street in the way. Get off the street, you dumb whore.
Deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
All these, like, they're fairly waving an Iranian flag in the country. Am I supposed to side with them? Look, I'm not even near an Israel shill, right? But an Iranian flag, what does that have to do with America? Yeah, I'm supposed to side with like the pink-haired, transgender, fat, overweight person? No. Is that an Italian? That's a Mexican flag. I thought it was an Italian flag. I was about to say that's kind of based.
I guess this administration doesn't like journalism too much. And I think the saddest...
Well, it is. And do you think like the Trump admin is like telling people, shoot journalists? Like there's 30 guards who see her, like one of them decides to shoot her.
Outcome of all of this is children being taken. I can't even imagine what it's like for them to be taken into custody for simply existing in a country. A free one at that, I thought.
I'm disappointed in life. Don't you get it, Chud? It's a free country. Anyone can come here. Like, dude, not everybody is an undocumented American. Like, you can't go to China and label every single Chinese person, oh, you're just an undocumented. Like, you just haven't gotten your paperwork done yet. It's like, you're not even spreading atrocity propaganda. You're like coping to yourself on why it's good to fall for it. And that's like the most like raped thing ever. Like, it's absurd. Like, I don't want to sound like a faggot, but like you're literally like consuming the rape propaganda. You're like, it's rape propaganda. I'm gonna cope about why it's good that I'm getting raped. Maybe not you, Jose. Maybe you're also one of the illegals. I don't know.
Don't let me go. I have to because the county of LA said I had to.
ICE is now removing undocumented foster children from their foster homes. Removing foster
I don't care.
children from their foster homes.
Oh no! The crying child! Shut the country down. Burn the Constitution. Open the borders. Import in 500 Indians, please. And it's like, dude, do you think the native, like they're always saying, this is on, see, I'm a minute left in the video, he still might make, this is stolen land. If he does make that argument, I'll simply tell him this. I'm not going to even respond to it. I'm just going to like say, refute back to previous argument. Let's say that is true. Let's say stolen land. Okay. Let's say, so it's they're native to the land, they should have the land. And even you'd go a step further and say Europe is native land to the white people, so the white people should go to Europe. Now, do you think the Native Americans, which they're not even going to go to that second step, but do you think the Native Americans will look at you importing 500 million Indians from India, not Native Americans, Indians, and they'd be like, yeah, these people belong here more than the Europeans who literally built an empire for us to live in did. No, they'd hate them more than literally any other group. And look, I'm not like a pro-Native American person, obviously, but like, they'd probably enjoy living in the American Empire. Do you think they want to live in the Indian Empire? Oh my god, sir. No, I celebrate Hindu Dharvi. I worship cow, sir. No.
For deportation. Y'all, I've been working in the foster care system for 28 years. I'm a former foster mom.
You sound like a libtard.
4 children from foster care.
You sound like a libtard. I don't care.
And fostered many others. And I have represented hundreds of children who are in foster care. And one thing,
And this is so awful.
all of these children have in common is they have all been through trauma to one degree or another.
I don't care. What is this, like 240p footage from like the 90s? What is he using?
We are taking children.
A child, dude. Not only should I think we should take the 19th Amendment away, take away women's part of the first. What is this? Like, some like libtard foster care mom is gonna cry? I don't care. Screw you. Screw your foster children.
Who have already been through trauma and removed
What am I supposed to react? Am I supposed to react with tears? You know, this really changes my mind.
them
Open the border.
foster homes for deportation.
Based.
There will be a reckoning for this.
There's gonna be a left-wing revolution. There's gonna be a communist revolution in the future. Dude, the LARP never ends.
In this life or the next.
Oh, ugh. You're like some 50-year-old, like you're just a race traitor. Like, you look like a perfect Aryan. Not to sound like a Nazi, but you look. Exited full screen. But like, well, first of all, you don't look perfect. You just have blonde hair and blue eyes. You look hideous. Your skincare is horrible. You're like sub-3 human. Am I supposed to listen to you? Look, I'm low-tier normie. But like, you're sub-3. I'd rather listen to the Chads than you. Sorry. I'd rather listen to a man than a woman. You know? Not you, Jose. Don't come back here and saying, oh, well, I'm a man. No, you're not. You're like a complete cuck faggot Jose race trader. Race trader, sorry, not race trader. You're not white.
Wanted to talk about.
Neither am I, but
There's definitely more going on, and I could cover that, and it's actively getting worse based on.
it's actively getting worse. They've deported 0.3% of the illegals in a whole year out of 4 years. At this rate, 1% will be gone. Don't give these people an inch. These people hate you. These people hate anyone who disagrees with them. These people want you dead. They think that it's actually, like, based that racists get killed, that people who's sexist get killed. They want you dead. Don't give in to their propaganda. They hate you. They cheered for a man getting shot in public. These people, don't give them an inch. Don't even agree with them. Ignore them if you agree, and disavow them at every corner. Don't play into their game. Don't give them an inch of power. These people are evil. These people are hideous. These people need to be destroyed.
How these charts look. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about for now. Feel free to share this video with anyone you know so they can.
I don't think a lot of people shared it. It has like 35,000 views. Where is current channel numbers pulling? I'm curious. You're the only one being other Jose. Don't care. Dude. What is he pulling now? You know what? That's not... Actually, it's kind of bad. No, the only reason I said it was good is because he pulled... Where is it? He pulled like this last year. I guess he's not doing too good. Maybe I take that back. He's doing really bad. Because he can't... Okay, 300,000. And then back to like a loser amount. Anti-police propaganda, anti-conservative propaganda. He's a horrible person. He agrees on you on literally everything. He just like isn't like a left-wing retard. Yeah, something really here. But yeah, Poncho fell off so hard. I had to unsub from him. I was a fan since like 2019. Not 2019. When did these... Like, when was it? It was like the first... Damn, I was pretty early on. I remember watching all these videos. Not this one. These 3. Let's see what this faggot used to sound like 5 years ago.
Tommy in it. Oh, hello everybody, it's Tommy in it. Yeah, that dude. So, I'm...
You're not recovering from this, Poncho. You're not recovering from this, Jose. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much the whole video. If you enjoyed, leave a like. But most importantly, watch the whole video. Because that's what helps the most. Comment if you disagree. Comment if you agree. But yeah, thank you for watching the whole video. I know it's a pretty long rant. It's been over 50 minutes to an 8-minute response. Dude, I look like SK. If you guys don't know who SK is, he makes like 3-hour responses to like a 20-minute video, like making fun of a take he has. He's like a complete like cortisol spiked retard. 50 minutes? It's kind of bad. I look like a loser now. I look like a total dork. Not to like sound like a high schooler. I am, but not to sound like a person from a 2000s movie, but you know, it's not the best. Alright guys, I'll see you all some other day. And bye.